230,000 cars flooded in Hurricane Sandy.
That's just a tip of the iceberg.
Thousands of those flood cars will be cleaned up and retitled. Some are already in North Carolina.
No state is in the clear.
5 on Your Side investigates Thursday.
It's completely legal to sell a flood car. We watched flood-damaged car after car sold at auction.
Flood cars literally rot from the inside out.
Watch 5 on Your Side investigate Thursday at 6 on WRAL.
The wind, the waves, the flooding. Hurricane Sandy did a number on the Northeast and hundreds of thousands of cars. Many were flooded. And a WRAL investigation reveals many are already on the move.
5 on Your Side's Monica La Liberty is here now with the story and a warning. Monica?
Yes, all told, at least 230,000 cars were damaged. 230,000. Many were totaled. Some will be sold as parts. But as we found out, tens of thousands are already being cleaned up, fixed up, and resold, some right here in North Carolina. Take a look at all these cars. Looks like a manufacturer's port distribution center, but it's a small New York airport doubling as temporary storage for just a fraction of the hundreds of thousands of cars flooded in Hurricane Sandy.
And that's huge. And look at all those cars. I mean, that's just a tip of the iceberg.
Chris Basso is with Carfax, a service that tracks vehicle histories.
Our preliminary research shows that about 1 out of every 5 cars damaged during Superstorm Sandy shows evidence that it's back on the road.
5 on Your Side watched this dealer-only auction featuring buyers from all over: California, Texas, Georgia, Massachusetts, even El Salvador. Flood-damaged car after car, SUV after SUV, sold in seconds at a fraction of their original cost.
Here's an 012 Audi car. Wow, look at this thing.
Take this 2012 Audi 7, normally valued at $58,000.
$23,700, and it is sold.
Sold for $25,000 under value. This 2010 Toyota Corolla also went in seconds.
$3,900.
And those cars eventually are going to be cleaned up and resold, some to unknowing consumers.
Paperwork shows some of the cars already made their way to North Carolina. Wherever they end up, Basso says the buyers will likely be stuck with nothing but trouble on wheels.
The mechanical systems are going to start to corrode, the electrical systems are going to start to short out, and the safety systems may not work when you need them, especially the airbags.
A 5 on Your Side investigation after Hurricane Floyd in 1999 found plenty of scammed car buyers. Check out the mud flying out of the air vents of this Floyd car.
I had no idea that it was a flood car. None whatsoever.
For 2 years after the storm, we tracked vehicles that were branded as flood cars in North Carolina. We followed as they were sold and resold, bounced from state to state. Along the way, most picked up clear or so-called clean titles. That's what happened to this Nissan Maxima.
Oh, jeez.
The carryman who bought it had no idea it was flooded in Floyd until we showed him our video of it.
What do you think?
Don't think much of it.
There's an issue called title washing where a conman will alter the paperwork, the title documents for the vehicle.
And Chris Basso says 14 years later, it's still happening. While it's completely legal to sell a flood car, North Carolina law requires its title to be branded as flooded and for sellers to tell buyers in writing. But some states have less stringent titling laws where dishonest dealers move cars to take advantage. And once the cars are cleaned up, it can be very difficult to tell that a car has ever been in water. These cars are a little different. They're being refurbished by a local company that has strict rules about the kind of flooded cars they'll deal with, freshwater versus saltwater, and also the extent of flooding. But they disclose that salvage brand right on the car. That's what that S means. It's a flood car. It's also here on the sticker. But if they didn't disclose it, you'd never know. Take a look. This car looks brand new. The best advice, check the car's history and really check the car. Look for signs in not so obvious places, like under seats, the spare tire well. Better yet, take it to a trusted, experienced mechanic.
Bottom line, flood cars literally rot from the inside out. No state is in the clear. These cars can make their way to any city, any state around the country.
And Basso warns with so many cars out there, they could be trouble for months, even years to come. And no, the salt water from Hurricane Sandy's flooding is much more corrosive than rainwater. It accelerates the time it takes a car to break down. And when we first reported on flood cars 10 years ago, lawmakers then called for a national database of car titles. There's not a fully operational one just yet. The National Motor Vehicle Title Information System has 33 states now that make inquiries before issuing a new title. North Carolina is one of 8 states that submits information but does not check the database. Carfax lets you check a vehicle identification number to see if a car has been flooded. That part of it is free. We recommend you do that whenever you're looking at a used car. On the 5 on your side page of WRAL.com, you'll find a link to that and other sites. Some do charge a fee. Deb, David, we are now tracking dozens and dozens of Sandy flood cars, and we will keep you posted on where they end up.